Today, we continue our social media series with Social Media 201, Strategies for Business on Straight Shot Marketing Podcast.
Welcome to Straight Shot. Marketing is everywhere. It's around your life, from what you eat to what you wear and where you go. It is a vital part of any and all business. Let's discuss the world of marketing and business as it influences everyday life with the staff of Atlanta marketing agency, Reformation Productions, and guests as they give it to us straight. Get ready. Take aim. Steady. Welcome to Straight Shot.
That's right. We've graduated from Social Media 101, and now it's time for the second class, 201. I feel like I'm back in college again.
Social Media School for Business here.
Right.
Going to college. What do you think?
I think you're nuts.
Yes, so let's jump right into the topic here. In 101, we did an overview of what social media was, its history, and really a basics overview. So, what are we doing in 201?
Well, today is all about businesses' use of social media, which is different from how your normal individuals will use social media.
I mean, sure, individuals don't usually have a strategy at all, at least not a conscious one.
Some people do.
Some people do. Some people, they don't call that, if you're an individual, you don't have a strategy, you have an agenda. You have an agenda. Anyways, but not normally. They don't normally have a strategy, right? Individuals. Normally.
Not unless the individual is a brand, like Kim Kardashian, J-Lo, somebody that is actually, a business in and of themselves.
Bueller. I
still love that movie. So we are going to talk about the strategic approach businesses take when using social media.
Yes, so today is still an overview type background, high level thinking approach sort of episode, all of which is necessary before we get to the day-to-day how-to steps.
Oh, but those are coming.
Yeah, but none of that matters if people don't understand why they are doing it. And we will get into how we approach the how-to steps today, but not the steps themselves, if that makes sense.
Interesting. Okay, well, let's get started. So what's the first thing that businesses should know in their approach to social media?
Well, first, they need to understand the different platforms so that they can decide which ones are going to be beneficial to them to use and which would be a waste of resources. Your business doesn't have to be on all of them, but It's important that you are on the ones that will best reach your audience. And that is the key. Not what you like, but what will work best to help you interact with your audiences and intersect in their lives.
Okay, so the number one is it's not all about you, and don't feel pressure from what others are doing. And that's an interesting mix. I mean, they're almost like opposites.
Yeah, well, it's not all about you, and it's not about your peers.
Okay.
It's about your customers.
Oh, right. And that is a good first lesson and something that all businesses should already know.
Yep. All right. Number two.
Oh, number two. Oh, that was fast. We're moving along.
Yeah. Number two is that once you determine which platforms you need to be on, that you are brand consistent across all of them. Yes. This is forming your digital presence, and you need to look confident across the interwebs. Yes. If you remember, we called it last time the internet broadcast, right? You need to look consistent across the whole thing. If you look one way on Facebook, in a different way on Snapchat, in a different way still on your website, that's not good.
Right. It comes across very disjointed to the customer.
And it's confusing to them and not valuable to you as a business.
Not at all. Every time someone sees you, it's like they are starting over. seeing you for the first time.
Yes, statistically, you have to see something 7 times before you will start to recognize it, before it will start to have its, own memorable identity in your mind. And if you are different each time someone looks at you, you will never get past 7.
You're not even get past number 2.
No, you won't. So, number 3, we're going to move along this pretty fast here today.
We are trucking.
Number 3.
Yes.
Number 3 has to do with your participation on social media, which should be, number 1, like we said, planned and on the right platforms.
Yes.
Number 2, consistent and professional, but it also needs to be responsible. You have to understand why you are there. And it's not about selling. It's about being social, being available, and interacting with your audience.
So in that way, it needs to feel organic and natural. Is that what people mean by organic reach?
Not organic reach, but organic engagement. Yes, organic reach is something else just to confuse people, but organic engagement is ensuring that things don't feel forced. They feel natural. People don't want to feel like they are being sold to or that you are being fake. That is organic engagement. Organic meaning, natural as it would come, treating people like people sort of thing. Organic reach has to do with unpaid participation on a platform as opposed to advertising or paid participation on a platform. So same adjective, different noun.
Okay. Well, that's really important. I mean, okay, so let's talk about the unpaid participation sum. Now, what does that look like?
It's what we at the agency call foundational participation, meaning that it is the basic foundational level of participation that must be done before you can move on to any of the advanced levels of participation. Because if you don't...
Your house will fall into its sandy foundation?
Yes, as opposed to being built on a solid foundation of rock. That's right.
I love analogies.
Now, so does the Bible. Now,
Upon this rock, I'll build my kingdom, for Satan's thrones are built on sinking sand.
Thank you, Simone.
No problem whatsoever.
Now, this includes posting regularly scheduled or frequent content onto these social media platforms as part of a content marketing strategy. Now, I'm going to keep this as simple as I can and restrict it to where we're talking about social media only. But content strategy includes posting frequent content to the internet, regardless of whether it's social media or not, right? So that you are relevant, engaged, and active on the internet.
So are there rules to how many posts you should put up, or to like what types of posts?
Of course.
Of course.
But they are not the same for everyone, which is why it's difficult to talk about. It's not some sweeping brush that is general that covers everyone. So to answer your question and give a response that is applicable to everyone, let's just say that you should be putting up as much content as you possibly can using the methods and the media that is going to relate and engage to your target audience. What's going to reach them best, right? And of course, that will be different depending on who you are, who your audience is, and what platform you are on.
Okay, so if all of that is the foundational level, then what's the next step up?
Well, I don't know if it's the next step. Again, that would be completely dependent on the same factors that we just talked about. But a step.
Oh, okay.
A step up from foundation for many businesses will include gaining influencer support. This is akin to making friends with the popular kids in the school so that other people will like you too.
We want to invite you to have lunch with us every day for the rest of the week.
Oh, it's okay. Coolness. So we'll see you tomorrow.
On Wednesdays, we wear pink.
The world is just one big schoolyard, isn't it?
It seems so, doesn't it? That's because the behaviors that we, grow into as adults are learned at a very young age. And though we may grow into wisdom, those behaviors follow us innately as we grow up.
Now, we have an entire episode that we're dedicating to influencer marketing, I believe. And
Yes.
it's coming up later in this series.
Yes, it may be the very next episode after this one, actually. Or if not, it'll be the one after that. It will be soon.
Oh, soon. Okay, so what's next for us here today within the strategic approach for business?
Okay, so the next is what we call strategic engagement.
Okay.
And it has to do with proactive engagement with customers and prospective customers. Now, the internet is one big town. We're going to use another analogy, right?
Oh,
so
joy.
if the internet is one big town, you should be talking with others in the town. You should be being neighborly, right? And using the tools that are available to the internet. So to do that, you need to do some research. So find out who is interesting, right, in your town, and who would be interested in what you do. Then go talk to them. Invite them into a conversation.
Good morning, my neighbors! Hey, you! Yes! Yes! You too!
Organically, of course. You don't want to come across salesy. That is the kiss of death.
Yes, people don't like salesy. I think we talked about this before, social media 101 maybe, but it is true. And millennials and the iPhone generation, the one after millennials, abhor it. They hate it. They will run the other way violently if they think that you are being salesy or fake to them. So it's very important that you are genuine. You have to be true, and you have to earn their interest in what you offer.
I think we need to start picking on a new generation. We can't just keep picking on the millennials anymore. We've got to get into the iPhone generation now and really pick on them.
They're coming. They're coming right along behind them. That's the truth.
iPhone generation, your time has come. You will now be picked on. But anyway, it's a different world with different
What are
tolerances.
they called now? The Z generation?
I
You were
don't
Y,
know.
and then I think we skipped and went to millennials.
No, it was a Gen X, Gen Y, millennials. Now it's iPhone generation, but I don't know what that is.
So we never said Z generation.
Zennials?
I don't know. It's so hard to keep up. Maybe that's the Gen
Zennials?
Z. Maybe the millennials are that. Maybe.
I think they should call it the I generation. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah,
there was
well,
a clever name I had thought of at one point that I can't
I
remember
think
now.
the millennials are known as the I generation from, iPhone, iWork, iPad, iPod.
Complain, I whine,
everything.
yeah, okay. No, I was kidding. Sorry. I love all the millennials out there. Seriously, we all need to band together, and millennials included, to pick on the next generation. The invitation is out there. But it's a different world with different tolerances than it used to be, isn't it?
Yeah, to a degree, yes. Much more unforgiving in this way. So reach out to people, but be pure in your intentions and show genuine interest in who they are and in serving their needs, not in them serving your needs. It actually is forcing businesses to be better people.
Wow. How very altruistic. So I believe you still have one more thing left to discuss with us today.
Yes, one more kind of level or
Topic
whatever
area?
Yeah, advertising. This is actually relative to what we just talked about. If you are going to be salesy, make sure that it is through advertising. It is more accepted there than in foundational participation or strategic engagement.
But they don't even want it then, do they?
No, but it's better there than in the other areas.
People know what they're getting.
Yeah, at least they expect it somewhat. Here, even if they don't necessarily like it. So, even advertising should be informative, entertaining, genuine, and true. Less salesy as you can to be in an ad. And there's a little, there's some finesse in how you do that. But you have to showcase who you are and how you connect to your audience, rather than clubbing them over the head and, hitting them over the head with a sales message and dragging them back to your retail store.
Your retail cave. It just doesn't work that way anymore, does it?
Not really, no. And at least it's working that way less and less as time moves on. But advertising on social media is beautiful.
Why is it beautiful?
Well, because we as marketing professionals and business owners can do things that we've never been able to do before. And that is all centered around targetability.
Which again will receive its own episode coming up soon in this series.
Yes, it will. Because advertising is important, but different on each platform as well. But overall, social media, very targetable. And that's why companies are turning to social media advertising in droves.
Yes, but more on that later on. Zachary, why don't you go ahead and give us the straight shot for today? What's our summary of important facts and takeaways here?
I feel like today was a relatively short episode, but it's important. This is all high-level stuff that as a business, you need to have a fundamental understanding of before we go into anything else that I'm going to talk about from this point forward, which is why I wanted to call it out today. These, social media 101 was kind of the basics of where everything came from, the history, that sort of thing. This is the business approach to, understanding that you need to have as a business owner when you're approaching social media, right? Because if you do any of these things wrong, you're breaking the rules, and that has negative consequences. So it's very important, I think, that you understand that all platforms aren't the same and know which ones are best for your business and your audience. The platforms are going to tell you need to be on them, and your buddy that you're networking in may tell you, oh, Snapchat is great for me, but he may have a different audience than you. All right. So you have to be smart at how you do this. But the next thing, most important, these are all important.
Yes.
Brand consistency. It's important when you're doing printed material. It's important across the internet, right? These are not things that you can, oops, I just didn't know that didn't make Snapchat look completely different. No, you have to look consistent or it will work against you. And then the other really big piece is number 3.
Número 3. I like to be Spanish, everyone again.
Be organic and pure in your approach to people and to your content.
I kind of want to do a cheerlead. Hold on. I want to do be organic. Be organic. BEORGANIC. Organic.
Yay. You're supposed to put on your skirt and do a little twirl and stuff. Jumping jacks.
I'm not going to stand up. I'm going to stay on my butt. I'm old enough that I can just do it clapping at my chair. I don't know why I felt the need to do a cheer, but be organic. BE organic.
All right. Yes.
Sorry.
But, again, the really, really important that you kind of understand with the new generations that we have, you've got to change your approach from the way it used to be. Used car salesman, no good. No good. And then we have, the next things which are really the steps that you're going to need to take, right? You're going to have to engage in foundational participation. Don't run to advertising without doing foundational participation first. Don't skip putting regular content up on your social media, because if you do, and then you shoot you do advertising somewhere and you drive people to your social media and they see that you haven't touched it, that has a negative effect on you. So don't do it. You have to do A before you do B, right? Same thing with the next, which is strategic engagement. Don't go running and talking to people on the internet if you haven't done your foundational participation, or it will have a negative impact on you. It will make you look like you are approaching them for nefarious, aka salesy reasons, and they will run from you. Not good. So again, all very foundational things that you need to understand. Influencer support is another thing that I wanted to mention, because influencer support is good across whichever, every single platform has some sort of influencer that you can use. So it's something that you can look at. But again, when you're looking at it, it needs to be pure, organic, genuine. Don't try to, put your sugary cereal in the middle of a organic nature show or vegetarian show, because it doesn't make sense, right? So you have to pay attention, use basic sense so that you're smart about things. But once you do all of these things correct, you get the wonderfulness that is targeted advertising.
Dun, dun, dun.
Now, here's the thing about targeted advertising. Zuckerberg has actually made it worse instead of better. It used to be we could target all kinds of things, and it was absolutely wonderful. Since then, they have changed some of it to be politically correct, because that's now, the political police is kind of what social media has kind of moved into recently. So we cannot target some of the things that we could target before. However, it's still so much more targetable than anything we've ever done before. We were able to do targeting before by niche, by interest. We talked about this before. Sports Illustrated is what we used for, athletic type people. Field and Stream was what we used for outdoorsy type people. So there was some targeting there, but nothing like we have as instantaneously as social media. But again, we will get to advertising later.
That's good. All good stuff. All of it.
I aim to please.
Well, it's a short episode, but like you said, it's a good episode to get everybody's feet wet and ready for the next episode in our series. So get everybody get excited. And if you enjoyed our episode or any of this series, please hit that like and subscribe button. Leave us a comment if you like. Let us hear from you. It means a lot to us. And if you need us, let us know by calling 678-825-8086 extension 300. We'll be there. Or you can just email us at info@straightshot.net. So until we meet again, guys, right? For class 301?
Well, I don't actually know which one the next one is.
407?
It's probably going to be on the same level. So maybe like 125 or 2. Something. I don't know. I don't remember how colleges do it.
It's in the same building.
Yes.
But it's on a different classroom.
Yes. You have to pass, this class before you can get to the next class.
Oh my goodness. Okay, guys. Yes, it'll be good. We'll figure it all out. We'll see you on the next installment of the social media series. Until then, bye.
See ya.
Thank you for listening. If you found this podcast informative, we hope you'll pass along our web address, straightshot.net, to your friends, colleagues, and business associates. And please leave us a positive review on our Facebook page at facebook.com/straightshot.